Hello, welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Fidelia Aguncha. We begin with news from East Africa, where 47 people have been confirmed dead after a dam burst in the Kenyan town of Sholai, northwest of the capital, Nairobi. The walls of the Petal Dam, situated on a large commercial farm on top of a hill in Nakuru County, gave way late on Wednesday as nearby dwellers were sitting down to evening meals. The raging waters wiped out two villages, according to witnesses, while power lines were swept away, leaving many without electricity. The search for victims was slowed on Thursday afternoon by heavy rains, and there are fears that the death toll may rise. The dam is close to an informal settlement housing casual laborers who work on nearby farms. The Kenyan Red Cross estimates that about 500 families were affected by the disaster. Back to Nigeria now. The country's top judicial body, the National Judicial Council (NJC), has recommended the compulsory retirement of Justice Michael Goji of the Adamawa State High Court. Goji's suspension is as a result of his refusal to proceed on transfer to the Mobi Judicial Division of the State High Court since July 2017. The body also ordered Goji to refund all allowances received by him from July 2017 to date. A statement by the NJC spokesperson Soyinka Oye said Goji was recommended for compulsory retirement to Governor Bindo Jibrila by State Judicial Service following its findings on the allegations of misconduct leveled against him. The NJC also recommended the appointment of 22 judges for various offices and began investigations on 7 other judges. Still on judicial matters, a former Inspector General of Police, Sunday Ehinderu, has been rearranged alongside a former Police Commissioner, John Obaniyi, on a 6-count charge for alleged fraud. Ehinderu and Obaniyi were arraigned at an Upper District High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The defendants were accused of misusing a sum of 578 million naira donated by the Bayelsa State government, which was supposed to be for the purchase of arms. They have, however, pleaded not guilty to the charge. After taking their pleas, the court admitted the defendants on bail based on the previous conditions and adjourned the matter to June 19. The Federal High Court in Abuja has nullified the suspension of Senator representing Delta Central, Ovie Omoagege. Omoagege was suspended by the Senate for 90 legislative days for allegedly opposing the amendment of the Electoral Act. The lawmaker had challenged the suspension, saying the Senate lacked the authority to do so. Ruling on the case on Thursday, Justice Nnamdi Dingba described the actions as unconstitutional. Dingba held that while the National Assembly had the power to discipline its erring member, the premise on which Omoagege's suspension was anchored was illegal. Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has responded to the Nigerian Senate after the lawmakers described him as an enemy of democracy. The IG in his statement dismissed the Senate's declaration as blackmail and insisted he does not owe the lawmakers any apology for his failure to appear before them. Idris has refused to appear before the Senate on 3 different occasions. He had been summoned over the growing insecurity in the country and the case of Dino Melaye, Senator representing Kogi West Senatorial District. Former Governor of Edo State Adams Oshiomhole has formally declared his intention to contest for the chairmanship position of the All Progressives Congress (APC). The former Labour leader made the declaration in Abuja on Thursday. Oshiomhole has been endorsed by President Muhammadu Buhari and will be the major challenger to the incumbent chairman John Odige Oyegun if the latter decides to seek re-election. APC National Convention, where a new leader will be elected, comes up in June this year. The All Progressives Congress has rescheduled its governorship primary election in Ekiti State to Saturday. The party had earlier fixed the election for Friday after the last exercise ended on an inconclusive note. In a statement on Thursday, Bolaji Abdullahi, spokesperson of the APC, said the new date was fixed after consultation between the party's National Working Committee, aspirants, and stakeholders. Kayode Fayemi, Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Babafemi Ojoju, an aide of President Muhammadu Buhari, and Segun Oni, APC Deputy Chairman, are among those seeking to fly the party's flag at the governorship election. Still on electoral matters, Asoko Achibong, a Nigerian lawyer based in the United States, has declared his intention to run for the presidency. Achibong made his intention known at a press briefing in Abuja on Wednesday. He vowed to ensure constant power supply, potable water, and guarantee a safe and secure country. Achibong also pledged to end medical tourism in the country, assuring that his administration will rejuvenate the health sector.
We have fantastic Nigerians all over this world. What words do I have for them? Come back. Come back. Nigeria is a fantastic place to be in. Come and create an environment that will make others willing and able to come back. That's all. We have to identify these people. We have to invite them to come back to Nigeria. I will make sure that the embassies in all the countries of the world that we are represented in would reach out to these Nigerians, just like we reach out to sportsmen and say, come and play for us. We will reach out to these Nigerians and say, come back and join us and play for us. You have to lead by example. As president of Nigeria, I will not leave this country to any other country to seek medical attention. That means I will receive the same kind of medical attention that every other Nigerian receives. I will bring back the medical doctors that are Nigerians and non-Nigerians with adequate experience, bring them back into the country and integrate them into the healthcare system and have them help us to improve the healthcare system.
To politics now. A new political coalition was launched on Wednesday in Abuja. The coalition, known as G21, is an alliance of 21 registered political parties with the purpose of wresting the presidency from the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). Chairman of the coalition, Yakubu Shendam, said the coalition will support the candidates of their choices at the House of Assembly, governorship, and National Assembly elections, but their target is the presidency.
The G21 is a forum of political parties who are like minds, who believe that coming together and use the advantage to benefit from the signage to bring in a new Nigeria in 2019, it's a paramount objective of this alliance we are forming, which is the G21. So what we are doing here practically today is to launch the organization and give it open for other political parties who are willing to be part of this reforms or to be part of this movement, which we believe that it will manifest into 2019 general election.
Our major target and priority is to bring as many political parties as possible to join forces to remove the incumbent, APC. That is just the target. So what we are seeing here does not mean that we are not in alliance with other forces. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. The G21 you are seeing today is more or less interested in working with closely with INEC, other civil society organizations, to make sure that over 120 polling units in Nigeria, 1,000 polling units in Nigeria, we're able to have our presence in every polling unit just to make sure we checkmate rigging in the upcoming election.
The beauty of multi-party democracy is the formation of coalition, coming together various political parties, interest groups, pressure groups, unions, in order to form government where you can carry everybody along. That is the only way you can secure a comfortable win. And that is the reason d'entrée of this G21.
Stakeholders in Nigeria's health sector are advocating for the education and training of nurses and midwives in the country to drive the improved health outcomes. The stakeholders made a demand at an event to mark the 2018 International Day of the Midwife in Abuja, saying that training will help reduce maternal infant mortality indices in Nigeria.
The International Day of the Midwife, IDM, is a day when midwives across the globe celebrate what they do in ensuring the mothers and their families receive the quality care that they deserve. Since it was first launched by the International Confederation of Midwives, ICM, in 1992, 5th May has been the internationally recognized day for spotlighting the work of midwives. The National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives were not left out as they joined their contemporaries in the world over to celebrate their day with the theme Midwives, leading the way with quality care.
All over the world, it has been said that about 87% of the reproductive health need of women of childbearing age and their children can be provided by the midwives. Why don't we empower these midwives? Why don't we take them to the dreamland for them to be able to safeguard our future?
The resident representative of the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, in Nigeria, Diane Cater, calls on the government at all levels, together with the development partners, to ensure an enabling environment for midwives to serve for the actualization of the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030.
To make this happen, we need to expand midwifery programs, maintaining the highest global standards, and promote an enabling environment for midwives to effectively serve the needs of women and their families. On this day, I urge the government at all levels and the development partner to join all of us here in supporting midwives so more women survive and their family and community thrive.
On hand to lend a voice for the empowerment of nurses and midwives is the National Chairman, NANNM, Midwives Association, Margaret Akinshola, who insisted that the roles played by midwives in eliminating maternal and child death cannot be overemphasized.
Communities everywhere were best served by letting midwives work together with mothers and their newborns to provide continuity in care as children develop. This is based on research that demonstrates that not only is continuity of care preferred by women, but also that there are profound impacts, including a 24% reduction in preterm births. Evidence has also found that professionally qualified midwives are able to meet 87% of the needs of women and newborns. And that is why we cannot take away what belongs to the highly skilled to the less skilled if we are talking of eradicating maternal and child health in the country.
With concerted efforts from health caregivers and the world at large, it is believed that the maternal and infant mortality would soon be a thing of the past. Adeshawa Odushaga, TV360 Lagos.
Let's shift our focus to the world of business, coming up after the break.
People to get only 10 people to register to vote, 10 new voters. Each of us standing here today, when you get back home, when you get to your place of work, your school, try and get 10 new people that do not have their PPC to register to vote. We're going to take on our website onevoice.ng, please go there, give us the information. If you get 10 people to vote, then you're amongst us.
So at least start with your voter's card and begin to use that to bargain about the type of person you want to see on February 16, 2019 and March 2nd on the ballot paper.
So we want to focus on people who haven't voted before. It's 100,000 people who are looking to pledge that, because that gives us a minimum of 1 million new voters.
Instead of to say, my vote no go count now, try vote first, then you see whether it will count, you know.
Welcome to Business News. I am Esther Vese. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, on Wednesday assured that the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway would be ready before the end of 2018. He disclosed this as he continued the inspection of federal government infrastructural projects across the country. The minister, who kick-started the tour on Tuesday with a visit to the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail line, inspected the two sections of the expressway, and that's the Lagos to Shagamu interchange and Shagamu interchange to Ibadan. Mohammed explained that the recent extension of the scope of work was in anticipation of the huge traffic coming out of Lagos to the Shagamu interchange.
50% of the traffic coming to Lagos is on the Lagos-Shagamu exchange. By the time it gets to Shagamu, the 100 vehicles leaving Lagos, about 70 would either go to the south or elsewhere. And that explains why Lagos to Shagamu exchange is 3 lanes on each side, while Shagamu to Ibadan is 2 lanes on each side. And also that you can see that from Shagamu, 17 kilometers have already been completed of 3 lanes. Now they are starting work in a few days' time again on this end. But again, you know, this rainy season, and they have to make adequate arrangement, 1 for drainage, and 2, before they can resume here again, traffic management. But overall, the important thing is that they are back on site, and they understand the importance of this access to the economy and security of Nigeria, and they're working very hard to ensure that rapid progress is made on this road.
In other news, the Senate says the report on the 2018 budget will be considered and passed on May 16, 2018. That will be 6 months after it was presented by President Muhammadu Buhari. The Senate spokesperson Ali Yusabi Abdullahi assured that the Committee on Appropriation is working to ensure that the budget is laid next Tuesday. The Joint Committees on Appropriation of the Senate and the House of Representatives was expected to have presented the report on the budget in the 2 chambers on April 19. However, the report has since not been laid. Crude oil fell on Thursday, giving up earlier gains as investors took profit on a rally which was triggered by potential disruption to oil flows from major exporter Iran in the face of U.S. sanctions. Brent crude futures fell 29 cents to $76.92 a barrel, while U.S. crude futures were last down 18 cents at $70.96 a barrel. Now, the oil price was still on track for the 4th consecutive quarterly gain, which is the longest of such stretch for more than 10 years. Analysts had hoped that the opposition to United States action would prevent sanctions from going ahead. Well, it's the 4th straight session of sell-offs on the Nigerian stock exchanges as the bears continue to dominate the market. The market closed downwards at 0.40%, retracting from its 41,000 psychological line to close at 40,914 basis points, with the market capitalization closing at 14.820 trillion naira. Now, with the total value of shares for today's trade falling by over 5 billion naira, the market closed recording the value of shares traded at 4.096 billion naira in 3,804 deals. With another day in the reds, the losers table was dominated by Seplat, Dangote Cement, Forte Oil, and Nascon Allied Industries, leading 26 losers, while Okumu Oil, Cement Company of Northern Nigeria, Chemical Allied Products, and MRS Oil in Nigeria advanced the most ahead of 32 others. Meanwhile, the banking sector remained investors' delight, with Zenith Bank, Access Bank, UBA, and Fidelity Bank leading the top traders, accounting for a little over 50% of the total shares traded. And that's business news. We will be back shortly. Please stay with us.
Corruption not in my country.
Now, yeah?
Yes, Oga.
Okay.
Where I go come find 300 naira change?
I better try look for change now. When they do business. Hey, Timmy. I did, bro. I be. I beg, give me 200 naira. Make I take sort out this guy. If let's say no get change.
Take it, give him.
I said 200.
Give him 100 naira.
Yeah.
Okay, I agreed to pay 200.
How much you think they carry people from that place we carry the chair?
Okay.
No, they touch me.
Now 100 naira. He agreed to pay.
Because that was what you said was the fair. Why you not go pay you? Why you dey extort your customer? You see this corruption wey we dey hear for news, dey see for people everywhere. Now be this. This is corruption, not in our country.
Corruption not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Back. Malaysia's 92-year-old Mahathir Mohamad has been sworn in as the world's oldest elected leader. Mohamad, who is the leader of the Pakatan Harapan coalition, becomes Malaysia's 7th prime minister. The ceremony at the official state palace in Kuala Lumpur took place before Sultan Mohammed V and ended uncertainty over whether the country's ruling party, the Barisan National Coalition, would try to cling on to power. Donald Trump will meet North Korea leader Kim Jong-un in Singapore on the 12th of June. In April, Trump stunned the world by accepting an invitation to meet Kim in a historic meeting. The pair had previously exchanged insults and threats. Now the breakthrough came after the landmark talks between North and South Korea. Trump's announcement came hours after he welcomed home 3 American detainees released by North Korea. On to sports now. The Flying Eaglets jet out today for Guinea-Bissau for the first leg of the 2018 Under-20 AFCON qualifiers on Saturday, and Plateau striker Peter Energy has assured that the team will not disappoint. The Flying Eagles missed the last edition hosted and won by Zambia. Nigeria has won 7 titles, and according to Energy, who played in the 2018 CHAN in Morocco, the Flying Eagles will make a bright start. The first leg of the qualifier holds on Saturday, May 12, at the September 24 Stadium at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Manchester United have announced that Sir Alex Ferguson no longer needs intensive care after having emergency surgery on Saturday for a brain hemorrhage. Ferguson will continue his rehabilitation as an inpatient at Salford Royal Hospital. The Scot retired as Man United manager in May 2013 after winning 38 trophies during 26 years in charge. The family, however, continued to request privacy as Ferguson enters the next stage of his recovery. Wayne Rooney has agreed a deal in principle that could see him leave Everton for Major League Soccer side DC United this summer in a £12.5 million deal. Rooney's representatives have been in the US to negotiate terms, and the former England skipper is willing to leave the Premier League club. Nothing has been signed yet, and uncertainty over Everton boss Sam Allardyce's position means the forward could stay at Goodison Park. For that, it's on News Now. You can watch some of our other programs on our website at www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also watch us on Facebook at facebook.com/TV360online. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/TV360Nigeria, and we are also live on YouTube at youtube.com/TV360Nigeria. We are also on Google+, and our handle is TV360Nigeria. I am Fidelia Aguncha. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.